So I took another way to be cautious, be safe, and so the girls actually went, they were already gone. They went the other way, and so I took this other way, and the police car was still following me. And I was like, they need to take a break. Like, what's wrong with these people? They make it, sometimes I feel like I'm treated like an animal. It really gets annoying. They just don't want to, they just want to keep messing with you. So like, I was going into my car and I was just driving, but then I got really upset because when I was driving to the exit to go on the freeway, well, right when I was exiting out of CSULB, the cops were behind me. And so I got a little scared. I was like, what's going on? But then finally they just went on and left. But I kind of was bothered by that for like a week or two, and then,
Do you feel like, have you shared that story with anybody else?
Yeah, so that's where MSI comes in. That week I actually shared it with Men's Success Initiative, and I felt a lot better because they went through that same thing. Well, similar. It wasn't really like that, but they went through that type of thing, some of the people in there, so it made me feel better.
So there are conversations like that happen regularly or sometimes?
It's usually sometimes. We would talk about various topics. There's days where we just talk about basketball. Like, it's a very relaxed club, organization. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, we have times where we're very serious, and I think like one time somebody actually cried. But yeah, it can be very serious.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I really appreciated you just kind of, sharing that part of you.
Yeah.
What else do you have? Well, was there anything else that you wanted to share about this?
Oh, no, that's fine. That was pretty much it. So for the Holy Bible, I honestly don't read it like I should, but whenever I've been in trouble, it's always just been there. It's just been sitting in my room on the desk. So I finally picked it up and started reading it, and I've learned like a lot from the Holy Bible. Like, I mean, when I was a little kid, I went to Christian school. For elementary, so all I did was recite scriptures and memorize them, and just like I heard all these Bible stories, so I thought I already knew the whole Bible. So I was like, when I started going to public school, I was like, I just put the Bible down. I still believed in God, I just didn't really feel like studying it. But as I got older, I started to look back at it and started studying it, and I was like, there was things I didn't realize. And I can interpret them a different way now that I'm older. So I think the Bible is a big part of me because it teaches me how to be humble and respectful. So my glasses represents intelligence. My Bible is more of my way of life, like my character and how to be respectful to people. I try to live by the Bible. I mean, I'm obviously not going to follow all the rules of the Bible because certain rules I disagree with. Like, I mean, they say it's a sin to like eat like shrimp, or I don't know, but I love shrimp. So it's like, there's certain things I disagree with, but overall that's really what the Bible is about. Just teaching me how to have respect for others.
And so going back to, I'm just going to be upfront and tell you that we're going to keep going back to my general study. What do you think the Bible does for you in terms of your efforts in school and trying to be successful here at Cal State Long Beach?
So in church, I'm a junior deacon, so we speak in front of the congregation like once a month. So reading the Bible actually helps me with my comprehension skills and my public speaking abilities. As you can see, I like to talk a lot, but I still get really like nervous when I talk to people, so it kind of helps me with my confidence in terms of speaking. Honestly, the Bible, if you really think about it, I mean, it's a book. You can analyze it. It's just like a literary work. It is a literary work in a way. So the Bible is very helpful in that way. Helps me improve my academic skills.
Okay. That's great. That's great. And so you said that when you got into public school, you kind of refrained from using having the Bible as an active part of your day-to-day. Can you recall when you actually went back and started making it more of an active thing for you again?
It was probably my my senior year of high school. So it was like all those years.
Was there an incident or a moment that you can recall that brought you back to your faith or to an active part of thinking about and practicing your faith?
I don't really have a disorder, because I have to be careful when I use the term depression, because I don't obviously cut myself or have suicidal tendencies, but I feel like even normal people can be depressed. And so in this case, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was a little bit depressed in a way. Mm-hmm. So the Bible is what I used to fall back on. I started going to a really good church. I didn't really like going to church because the topics didn't really make any sense, or like, they didn't really preach. They talk about marriage and this and that, and I'm just a teenager, like that doesn't apply to me. Mm-hmm. So, but I went to House of Worship. That's my church name. Are you allowed to like say names of churches?
Sure.
Yeah. My pastor loves people to come in, so he doesn't care. It gets more like advertising for him. But at House of Worship, it was funny because like whenever he would preach something, it related to something that was going on in my life. It was funny because the first day I actually went to the church, I was going through something, and he was talking about how you gotta like not let people get to you, and you gotta always have joy in you. And I was like, it's interesting because I just went through a similar situation with like people like betraying me, that kind of stuck out. I was like, okay, this pastor's different because he speaks to me. It's crazy, and I think that's God. Mm-hmm. And so I'm very connected to that church. And ever since then, I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. Like, I can relate to what he's saying. And he's a black man. He's a man of color. And so, I just started reading the Bible a lot more to understand, like, what the pastor was saying. And I was like, when I started to read it for myself, I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah.
So it's a combination of your pastor, the environment that the church provides you, and then the Bible kind of serves as a way for you to access the things that's being shared by the pastor and the church. Yeah.
And then that influenced me to read more of the Bible.
Okay. And so you're still pretty active at that church now?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there other ways that you feel like your faith or the church has helped you to progress or be successful in school?
Yeah. I think the most important way is to always stay calm. So the church kind of taught me how to have tranquility. Usually, like, when I was taking a break from church, before I went to House of Worship, I was very anxious. Mm-hmm. How do I say this? I don't have test anxiety, but at the same time, like, when I take exams, like, I'm cool. Like, I'm calm when I take exams, but then I overthink it after I turn it in. So I do those type of things where I overthink things, and I always doubt myself. But like ever since I've been going to that church, like it boosted up my confidence and my self-esteem. So I don't really have that anxiety anymore. Like my friends to this day, like they'll freak out when they take an exam. They're like, Aaron, why are you so calm? And I do really well on exams because I just go to church, and even when people make me upset, I'm very calm. So you can't really tell if like I'm upset by it. Like, calmness is really key.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. And also, when you're calm, you're more rational, and you have more time to compose your thoughts and act in a positive way in the situation. You can think smarter.
Okay. Anything else about that?
No, that's it then. Other than that, for the Bible. Let me go to. Okay, so this picture is my hand, but it's about my skin color. Like I said in the other interview, it's just about having confidence,